Hello again, everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to add a supplier or vendor into QuickBooks Online, and also how to create a bill, an expense that we will pay for at a later date. So once again, as always, all the actions and things that we need to do within QuickBooks can be found on the left-hand side of the screen here. Here's all your options. So we learned from a previous video that anything to do with customers, as far as adding a customer or creating an invoice to that customer, we go to the sales selection and choose an item from the right-hand pop-up menu. When we are setting up a supplier and creating a bill that we have to pay for, we simply go down just below that to expenses, and you can see that the pop-up screen gives us two options, expenses or suppliers. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up a supplier. So move over and select supplier. And once we get to this screen, just simply go over to the right-hand side and select and click on the button that says New Supplier. Okay, so this supplier that we're going to set up is Home Depot. So we can select the field company and put in the name. Hit Tab. Oops. Okay, you can see that fills in. We don't have an address for this particular client yet. We can add that later on. And then you have other things here. Actually, you've got email, you've got a phone number that you can put in, billing rate per hour, the terms that the client has given us. We're going to say it's, let's say, net 30. Again, Home Depot, obviously when you go into the store, you'll be paying immediately, but just for demonstration purposes, we want to set this up as a regular and ongoing supplier. Okay, and then at this point, we can simply select Save, and it's in there. Now, I want to show you just a feature we talked about in the last video about adding information after the fact. For example, if you had a customer and all you had initially was a name, later on, you got address and email information you wanted to add. And let's say, for example, with this supplier Home Depot, we got some information such as an address and a phone number that we wanted to add. So we can edit that and put that information in. The process for doing that is exactly the same in suppliers as it is for customers. So when you get to the supplier screen or customer screen, select search. Let's find that supplier or customer. There's Home Depot. We will select it. And you can see just to the right, we've got an edit button here. When we select edit for a supplier or customer, it takes us right back to the initial screen. At this point, we can add any additional information that we may have, such as 123 Main Street, Hamilton, Ontario. Put in a postal code. Okay. Any notes we may want to put in there? A phone number. Okay, and anything else that we may have. And we can select Save. And now that new information has been updated for this particular supplier, and if you were doing it with a customer, it would work exactly the same way. And you can notice under the supplier's name, now we have an actual address and everything showing up here. Okay, so now to bill or to set up a bill, we can go straight to new transactions, but I want to take you, as I did in the previous video, right back to the home screen to show you how you can access that. So once again, we're setting up a bill. We'll go down to expenses and we're going to select suppliers. We're going to find our supplier through this lookup feature. Once you start typing it in, it will show up. Select it. And let's go over here to new transaction. Select that. And now our first option is bill. So we're going to set up a bill. Okay, and you'll notice that this appears almost identical to an invoice screen when we're setting it up for a customer. So we've got Home Depot. You can see our address and everything is filled in. Terms is net 30. Again, as with the customer screen, you can override that, okay, with that button. But this is what it's going to default to each time we select it. Then we have our billing date. Again, very important. Because in this screen, if it's a bill that we're going to pay later on and we're given 30 days terms, we're going to want to make sure that the date that we set up on the bill date is not necessarily the date that you're inputting this information, but it's the date that's actually on the bill or the receipt itself. Okay, now we'll move down to the category details, and we are told in our instructions from the project that we're working on that this particular expense is going to go to supplies. As we start to type in supplies, we can see here it automatically populates it. We will select supplies expense. And under description, we can just call it supplies for office. All right, we will now fill in the amount, and we were given an amount of $98.78 plus tax, and hit tab. I just had another look at the instructions, and it is asking us to set the date to March 15th of last year. So that's what we're going to do, because we're catching up this company that's been in existence for a little while, and we're now just putting in accounting and bookkeeping information. So we'll select 2018, and then we will go to March 15th. Hit our tab, and now we're all set. We have our supplier, we have the date, we have the item, price and taxes, and balance due, and we can select save. And you can see it's saved here. On our next video, we are going to learn how to accept and input payments received from clients, as well as make payments to outstanding supplier invoices, and how to pull up a couple of reports so that we can view what money is owed to us from various clients, and also an accounts payable report to show what money we need to pay out. Thanks for watching.